Hello, and welcome to Twin Coves. Now, we are again back to playing visual novels and demos. Because it's just fun, you know? We like fun times. Uh, well, that is getting a little loud. My headphones, but it doesn't seem to be getting too loud on desktop. So I'm gonna turn down a little bit my headphones. I am still trying to balance audio because I don't want to be talking too much louder than the game. Because that really irritates me whenever I'm watching games. So, Twin Coves. Welcome to Twin Coves. Step into the shoes of a newbie private investigator as they unravel the series of supernatural murders that shake their small seaside hometown. After nearly a decade ago, Morgan Cooper, name changeable, has returned to Twin Coves. No one knows what made them suddenly leave their job as a journalist in the big city, but they're intent on keeping it that way. What is clear is that they seem to be a ghost of their former self. They move in with an old family friend, Gideon Clearwater, a gruff older werewolf and local private investigator. They begin working for him as a glorified secretary, all while doing their best to ignore the events that drove them back home. Then Gideon dies of a heart attack. With little else to do, they take over his investigation business, Clearwater Investigations, and assume their days will be filled with missing cats and cheating spouses. However, on their first official day on the job, a dead body is found, and despite assurances from the town sheriff, the death bears striking similarities to a case they're intimately familiar with. The case that drove them from their home in the first place. Will they keep their head down and let their fear get the best of them, or will they face their fears head on and solve the case? It's up to you to decide. Be careful. The deeper they go, the more in danger they are. Reconnect with people from their past, or make some new acquaintances. So, the demos, which is what we're doing, is about 15,000 words. And it's just expected to be about like 1.5 hours of playtime. But I don't know if that's dependent on like words. Hold on. I don't know if that's dependent on like if you go down specific routes, because we're only gonna do one route, and that's whichever one like seems most interesting. So we'll figure it out. Okay. In we go. Don't like that. Absolutely hate that. That gave you some anxiety right there. Damn. Design my own. Oh, I guess that's not available in the demo. That's unfortunate. My name is Sai. Green. Non-binary. Oh, how spicy am I feeling right now? Well, we'll go with she/her. Just make it a little bit easier. Sick. My name is Mix Sai Green, and I use she/her. Yes. Wisteria Games. Twin Coves. I thought that was something in my background. I thought there was like something in my room. September 1999. Oh, sick. I was a few months old. Chapter 1. Poking an old wound. That's a smart idea. Again, I'll only be reading like certain things, especially like stuff that we say, like verbally. Is that a cactus? Some cacti over there? Sick. Of course he isn't. It's been a week since his funeral, and I'm alone in his small apartment like I have been since his heart attack. Though I guess it's mine now, along with his car and his business, Clearwater investigations. Everything, aside from the apartment, was left to me in his will. Thankfully, the rent was paid through until the end of the year, so at least I don't have to worry about finding a new place to live. Not for a few months. My eyes burn with unshed tears as I swallow down the lump in my throat. Even now, Gideon is looking out for me. I reach up to rub at my temples. My head and shoulder are throbbing like a bitch, which means I dreamed of being in the hospital again. Though the pounding head could also be from the late night whiskey. Probably both. 6 months ago, I thought waking up in the hospital was the worst it could get. Almost getting killed does have a way of fucking up your life. Leaving my dream job as a journalist and running away to my hometown to live with a gruff old werewolf seems most sensible at the time. Now Gideon's gone. I don't like being told everything, like is it like an info dump of your entire life? Beginning of a game. I just felt it was like a little bit better to pace it out a little bit. That way you don't like just info dump it like when you first open a game. My heart lurches in my chest, and I turn my attention to the front door, eyes trained on it as if I'll be able to see through it to the other side as if I tried hard enough. There's another knock a moment later, followed by a muffled voice. I can't quite catch what they say. The knocking must have been what woke me up. I glanced at the clock. 9:28 a.m. 2 minutes until my alarm would have gone off anyway. I shut it off. I wasn't expecting one this morning, and there's a small, panicky part of me that wants to just ignore them until they go away. Fuck it. Who is it? I sigh. I should at least see who it is. Rub my eyes and swing my legs over the side of the couch where I fell asleep last night, and again, I nearly trip over an empty whiskey bottle in the process as I make my way to the door. I kick it aside with a curse. I fucking hate whiskey. I cannot relate. Last night was a bad one. Thankfully, I made the few feet to my destination without face planting, and I paused to press my eye to the peephole, squinting to make out the figure sitting on the other side. It takes my brain a moment to process the face. Damien Luna? What's the leader of the Paloma werewolf pack doing here? He'd come by to visit Gideon a few times since I moved in, and he'd been at the funeral, of course. I think he may have been the only fellow werewolf Gideon kept in contact with. That's rough. My hands tremble a little as I undo the locks, even though I know who's on the other side. It's a new development I can't seem to shake. I never used to be like this. Breathe in. Breathe out. My hands linger on the doorknob, willing myself to turn it. 1, 2... Oh, he kind of attractive though. I open the door to find Damien standing in the hall, hands in his pockets and looking apologetic. He steps back a bit as I hover in the half-open doorway. Hi. It comes more of a question than a greeting. I like how I did their lips. He runs a hand through his thick curls, glancing briefly past me into the apartment. I hope I don't look as rough as I feel. Or that he can see that clearly slipped upon couch or whiskey bottle on the floor. He's a werewolf. He can probably smell the whiskey on you, to be fair. He clears his throat and turns back to me. Well, seems like MC's not doing great. I'm okay, I say. Like a liar. Just getting ready to head out soon. Poor Damien. He's poor guy. He smiles kindly, his expression softening, then falling to a frown. I could speak English. It's been a very long day. I'm sorry. Amy meant a lot to me. He was the closest thing I had to a father. Anytime, eh? I don't have your number. I crossed my arms slightly over my chest and nodded. Yeah, of course. Dan was the one who called me to let me know Gideon was gone. We only talked a few times after that. Mostly about the funeral. And Gideon leaving everything to me at his will. He runs his hand through his hair again, some of it now sticking up, making him look a little more boyish. I always assumed pack leaders were these tough, grizzled werewolves, like Gideon. But Damien always struck me as a more of a type you'd see on the cover of Time magazine, not running a small pack in the middle of nowhere. Though I vaguely remember Gideon mentioning he took over the role unexpectedly. I'm surprised he dropped by, especially since I'm not pack and thus technically not his concern. He hesitates for a moment like he wants to say more, but thinks better of it. Yeah, you too, Damien. You know what? Thank you, Mr. Sir. He dips his chin in parting and heads to the stair before he's more than a few steps down, I call out to him. Hey, Damien. He turns back to face me. Thanks for stopping by. Really. I'd invited you in, but I have somewhere else to be, and... He waves a hand to cut me off and smiles again, the left corner of his mouth rising a little, higher than the right. Is he a romance option? He's kinda cute, though. I also love this little stamp right here. I'm trying not to go too fast because I know I read very fast. I nod and watch him descend, then wait for the click of the exit door before I close my own door and lock it, checking the deadbolt twice. He's been nothing but kind to me. It was nice of him to stop by, though I wish he had been at a better time. Who am I kidding? There hasn't been a good time in a while. I shake my head, dislodging my thoughts from Damien. I need to meet Xander Cross in less than an hour, and if I'm going to get through the day, I need all the caffeinated help I can get. The coffee maker clicks on just as I enter the kitchen right on time. After the pot is full, I pour myself a cup. Oh god, alcoholic much? Give me some sugar. The sugar is barely dissolved when I take a sip, but the gritty texture makes me grimace. I've never had such an experience where the sugar did not immediately dissolve. Okay. I gulp some down, barely tasting it, glancing at the series of sticky notes on the window ledge over the sink with things like, remember to eat, and it's a nice day, take a walk on the beach written on them. Meeting with Mr. Cross, September 12th at 10:30 a.m. Do not be late. The last one's in my handwriting. The previous ones were reminders Gideon left me. Oh, they're right there. That's so sad. I was in the best place after I left the hospital. I barely left the apartment for months at first, afraid they had followed me here. That they were waiting around every corner to finish the job. I finished off my cup and set the mug in the sink next to the other dirty dishes I haven't gone around to cleaning. The trash also needs to be taken out, the bin overflowing with empty Jolt cola cans, coffee filters, and takeout containers. I add it to my mental list of things to do. Later. After splashing some water on my face at the kitchen sink, I quickly brush my teeth. It'll do. I change out my sweats and ratty t-shirt and throw on my unofficial uniform of jeans and a gray hoodie, slipping my feet into my go-to shoes. Hell yeah, some Doc Martens. Fuck yeah. I glance at the clock again. 9:45 a.m. Should be enough time to swing by Moe's Diner and grab something to eat. There sure as hell isn't anything edible left in the fridge unless I want to eat a mustard and moldy bread sandwich. Oh, tasty. Delicious. I should also go grocery shopping. Eventually. I gear up to unlock the various locks and deadbolts once again when another note catches my eye. Wear a jacket, it's getting cold out. That pesky lump in my throat comes back at the sight of this last sticky note Gideon left me. Okay, I hear you, Gideon. I pull open the closet door and peer at the rack of decades out-of-fashion coats and threadbare jackets. I brush my hand over each one, passing by my own until I land on the one I want. So we're wearing a leather jacket on top of a hoodie with some jeans and Doc Martens as a recap, everyone. Now listen. It's a depression outfit. I grabbed Gideon's old leather jacket and shrug it on. The material is so worn it's soft like butter. It doesn't fit, but I don't care. I bury my nose in the collar for a moment, inhaling the calming, familiar scent of evergreen trees and mint that still lingers. I take a few deep breaths before unlocking the door, then step out into the hall and lock it behind me. I hate that my heart pounds at just the thought of leaving the apartment. I can do this. Everything will be fine. Breathe in. Breathe out. I adjust my hair, making sure it covers my scar, and I check twice to make sure the door is locked before heading out to start my day. My first normal one in a while. Thankfully, Moe's Diner is only a 2-minute walk away, right on the beach with a view of the town's lighthouse. It was Gideon's favorite place in the Twin Coves. He could eat a Moe's double bacon cheeseburger for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he did. Often. I swallow hard and force myself to think of something else. Crying into my waffles won't be a good look on my first day eating there since his passing. I turn the corner to Moe's, then slip in through the back entrance into the familiar den of the diner. The bell over the door chimes as I enter, and Norma looks up at me from her current task of refilling the salt and pepper shakers to give me a warm smile. She's been one of the waitresses at Moe's forever. She worked here when my mom did, back when I was a kid. Occasionally my mom had to take me to work with her when she couldn't find a babysitter in the summer. Norma would sneak me plates of onion rings through the day, making me pinky swear not to tell. Though, looking back, I'm sure my mom knew. She gives me a once-over, eyeing my choice of outfit. So I've been living in giant hoodies for a few months. Sue me. I like how she's just a silhouette. That's pretty cool. I give a non-committal shrug. I think she's more surprised that I'm here at all. Let's save again. I'm mostly giving her a baffled look because she motions with her head towards a booth at the end. A young man? Oh no. It still doesn't ring any bells. I wasn't supposed to meet anyone, at least not here. I see my waffle fix before I head over to Ivy House. Mustard. She fills the last salt shaker and leans in, eyes dancing conspiratorially. Oh, Lord. I roll my eyes. Me too, bestie. Uh-huh, that's exactly what I need right now. Norma arches a brow, though her all-knowing look isn't lost on me. Why is that such a thing? No skin off my teeth. That makes no fucking sense. I hate that expression. She disappears into the kitchen, I grunt, then head towards the booths, scanning for the supposed meeting of mine. I spot someone matching Norma's description. At first, I'm just as confused. I don't think I'm supposed to meet anyone other than Mr. Cross this morning, unless Gideon had an appointment he didn't tell me about. But it's practically a secretary, so I doubt it. Excuse me. Yet I can't shake the feeling that there's something about him that's familiar. His head is down. Long, unruly hair that with just a hint of red hides half his face, and he's wearing a jean jacket that's seen better days. God, it is the 90s. It's not until I spy the guitar case leaning against the back of the booth in the seat across from him that it clicks. I blink a few times just to be sure. Cassidy? Cassidy Fisher? I practically shriek his name, and a few diner patrons look at me as like I've lost it. But then he looks up at me with those same blue-green eyes. Oh. Oh no, bro. Oh. He looks around like he's also trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here. He's kinda... wow. Wow. I hesitantly make my way over to his booth, and he slides out, unfolding his lanky frame to greet me. It's weirdly comforting to see him just as gangly as ever, all arms and legs. He steps forward, maybe for a hug, but pauses without raising his arms, waiting to see what I'll do. Oh, okay, wow. He's hot. Oh no, he's hot kind of moment. What's the worst that could happen? I let him wrap me in a hesitant hug, then slide into the bench seat opposite to him next to his guitar. I can't help but smile as he retakes his seat. What are you doing here? I cringe at my slightly accusatory tone and try again. I mean, actually the tone's fair. What the hell are you doing in Twin Coves, Cat? Excuse me. I just had a bit of a stroke. What the hell are you doing in Twin Coves, Cassidy? This is crazy. He got a little bit of a scar right there. Interessante. Is that a knife? What's going on? Schools spread sexism. Agreed. Don't do it, dill. Diff? I don't know. Abortion. This is a pro-abortion thing, I think. It's excellent. These are a lot. There's a lot of pro everything here. I like it. I live here. This is my hometown. Your turn. He rests his elbows on the table and rubs the back of his neck. Oh, rough luck, buddy. I glance over my shoulder at Norma to see her watching both of us out of the corner of her eyes as she pours a regular new cup of coffee. Busybody. I turn back to Cassie as he looks up at me as through his impossibly long lashes. We both freeze as Cassie slip up the turn of endearment he used when we dated years ago. He starts to apologize, but I shrug it off. No name change. I took over his business. Gideon Clearwater died 2 weeks ago. Is there... Let's do that. Let's put it down a little bit. Return. My throat tightens, a blink away the wetness starting to gather in the corner of my eyes. Talking about him out loud is always worse. He had a heart attack while out on a stakeout. It was sudden. The coroner said his heart just... I stopped. Cassie doesn't even know all of this. He reaches out and lays a hand over mine, his palm dry and rough. Yeah, he did. I've known since I was a kid. He was like, I swallow and it feels like I'm gulping down sandpaper. Oh boy. Okay. He looks out the window to the ocean, face pensive, his brows drawn together. Thankfully, Norma comes around to take her order, though I have a feeling she's been holding off not to interrupt our reunion. She pulls out her order pad and then plucks the pin from behind her ear. Fucking busybody. Okay. Chocolate. She looks to Cass, who just asked for another glass of water, and she moves on. Not eating? I bet you did, buddy. I am back in the booth and cross my arms, pinning him to them with my best stare. So, how did you know Gideon? Cass mimics my pose and arches a brow. I can tell he's trying not to smile. Perhaps I've lost my touch. He gives in and sighs, rubbing up the back of his neck again. Okay, it's fair. It's fair. It's not staying in one place for too long. Take a sip of my water and look away in the hopes of appearing casual, but Cassie must hear something in my tone because his face falls, and he starts picking at a loose thread on his sleeve. I cut him off. I'm not looking for apologies years too late. Why did you call Gideon? He doesn't answer for a moment, shifting in his seat. Well, that's not good. So we're on Hunt Down Mom Patrol. An uneasy feeling begins to ease its way through my initial surprise at seeing Cassie sitting at my hometown diner. Is that really all that's wrong? I don't know how to say this name. Siobhan? Right? Siobhan Fisher is her name? Cass glances up at me, surprised. Mrs. Fisher? Norma appears correct and say anything else to drop off my plate of waffles, along with a glass of orange juice and a steaming cup of coffee I didn't order. I thank her and pull the coffee mug closer. Yeah, give me some sugar. I grab a couple packets from the holder and dump them in. I Take a sip and burn my tongue a bit, but I need all the caffeine I can get today. Yeah, gotta save off that fucking hangover. I bring a floor full of syrup-drenched waffles to my mouth, but as soon as the food hits my tongue, all I taste is cardboard, and I'm tempted to spit it back out. It's not the cookie. It's not the cooking. Moe's is always good. It just doesn't taste like the same without Gideon sitting across from me. I drop my fork onto my plate and push them away. I could look for your mom for you, if you want. I take another sip of coffee and watch Cass's expression morph from shock to disbelief to something else I can't pinpoint. Kinda sus. We're just gonna stay quiet. I bit my tongue. It would have been nice if Cass showed up 7 years ago instead of breaking up with me by no. I mean, really, who does that? But it's been years. Maybe he's changed, and I never got the full story as to why. Maybe one day. I lean back and eye my plate full of waffles. I just can't bring myself to take another bite. Want the rest? I nudge my plate across the table to him. I'm not as hungry as I thought I was. Cassie accepts without comment and digs in, shelling bite after bite. He still eats like every meal is his last then, too. Where he puts it all, I'll never know. The words are a little unintelligible with his mouth full of waffles. I find a smile and nod before finishing my coffee. I'm good. I have an important meeting after this. Probably for the best I don't show up in a waffle coma. Norma swings by the table to drop off the check. As always, it just says, "On the house," with a little smiley face next to it. I perk of my mom and Norma being good friends back in the day, and Gideon probably keeping this place financially afloat. I pull out my battered wallet and leave a 10 on the table, anyway, then count the remaining bills. I need to remember to stop by the grocery store later today. Maybe add a vegetable to my diet. Maybe. He takes another giant fork full of waffle, then washes it down with half my glass of OJ. I wasn't gonna drink that anyway, so I guess it's good it won't go to waste. Oh, one of Gideon's regular clients wants to discuss something with me. Perhaps a potential job. I sniff. Why not? It's not so different from journalism. You would know. We met my first year out of college when I was still green and eager for any story I could get my hands on. Still naive. Dreams change. Especially if they almost get you killed. Thankfully, Gideon encouraged me to take the exam to get my private investigator's license a month or so back. I'm saying this is going to be the rest of my life, but it's fine for now. I help Gideon on a lot of cases, so I know what I'm doing. Mostly. And it's not like anything happens in a town like this. I'm going to be missing cats and cheating spouses. Cassie looks thoughtful for a moment, dragging the last bite of waffle around the plate to gather the remaining final remnants of syrup. Cass? A spear of cold jolts through me. Jolts through me, and I do my best to keep my expression neutral. Sure, it was what I wanted. I had been so close to making a name for myself. But things change. Things go wrong. Frankly, it's none of your business. Cass flinches just a little bit at the sharpness of my voice. I gentle my tone. It's not like you know me anymore. It's been 7 years. That's fair. As much as I hate to admit to myself, I really like Cassidy. Sure, our relationship was just 2 kids. Barely out of college for me. Who knows what for Cassidy. Trying to make it in the big city. We were too young for it to be anything serious in retrospect. But when you see someone almost every day for 6 months and then one day they're gone and all you have left is a note saying they're sorry, it hurts. Even 7 years later. Cass seems to notice the shift in my mood. and leans forward, hands out from him like an offering. Oh, that excuse. Interesting. Well, at least he's attractive. Cassie looks out the sun to the water. Out the window to Cassidy looks out the window to the water, the light streaming in from the morning sun highlighting the red tones in his hair and catching his irises just right. They almost look like little oceans of their own, waves of blue and green churning and swirling. The freckles across his face stand out against his bronze skin. Unbidden, a memory from back when we were together flits through my mind. Us sitting in a booth like this while I connect dots on his arm like my own personal activity book. Well, ain't that nice, buddy? He chuckles. There is no humor in it. Eventually, he returns his gaze to me and shoots me a lopsided grin. A scar I've never noticed before stands out against his cheek, right over his left smile line. His hands find mine again and he gives them a gentle squeeze. I nodded once and started to slide my hands away after I realized he's still holding them, his eyes locked on mine. They're so warm I almost don't want to let go. It's fine. It was a long time ago. Kathy takes a hint and removes his hands, and then clears his throat. I wouldn't really insult a guy that clearly meant a lot to us after he died, my guy. I shrugged. That's what I liked about working with Gideon. He gave me a place to stay and food to eat. Never asked for rent or to pitch in with the grocery bill. And on top of that, he paid me for my time. If he wanted to claim the glory, fine by me. Delivering the findings to clients is the worst part anyway. I glanced at the clock over the front door of the diner. Shit, it's like 10:15. I better get going. Cassie seems to be about to say something else, so I hang back for a moment before sliding out of the booth. Ivy House is about a 5-minute drive from downtown. I have a little extra time. He pulls at the loose thread on the sleeve again. Oh. Do I want Cassidy Fisher back in my life after all this time? Sure. You still have the number you used to call Gideon? That's the line note to the apartment. He never had a separate business line. I slide from the booth and pull my jacket tighter around me. My voice softens. Don't let me regret this, Cass. He gets out of the booth and pulls me into a hug. His body feels nice against mine like it always did. His voice is barely above a whisper as he speaks in my ear. I don't know. I feel like we're going to. He pulls away. Work. Oh, I didn't realize you were staying in town for a little bit. He smiles cheekily. You're really getting ahead of yourself here, buddy. I arch my brow and turn. Oh, we're going out, are we? You know, you need to ask me first. That's what your phone number's for. Ah, I see. He smiles and grabs his guitar, hiking the strap up his shoulder. I don't want to say to that. This is too much for a Thursday morning, especially when you're hungover as all hell. I really have to go. He raises a hand in goodbye as I back away. Oh boy. Look at them 10 khakis, though. I turn and head for the back exit, trying not to read too much into his flirting. He probably didn't mean it. My mind is elsewhere as I pass by the patron sitting at the counter. The sound of glass shattering makes me jump, and I glance back to see a ball of ketchup splattered on the black and white tile floor. It takes me a moment to realize I've stopped, that I'm staring down at the thick, red liquid mixed with shards of glass sprayed across the linoleum. I fucking hate that word. God. The contrast catches on something in my mind. My heart thundering in my chest, blood and glass, red on white. My forehead and shoulders start to throb, and I practically sprint the rest of the way to the exit, desperately needing a breath of fresh air. I think I hear someone calling my name. Probably Cass, but I ignore it, their words dying as the door swings closed behind me. We had ourselves a little panic attack just about it there. My heart is still thumping as I lean against the wall of the diner. I breathe through my nose and out my mouth. It was just ketchup, for God's sake. I need to get together. You got a lot going on, buddy. Something is weird about... Is this supposed to be... We're gonna do this and see if that does anything for the text, because it's going pretty fast in those moments where it's trying to, like, stagger. After a moment... Why am I yawning? After a moment, I make my way over to Gideon's car. A classic 1968 Dodge Charger. I guess it's my car now. The chill of the autumn air fills my lungs as I breathe in. Out. Until my heart rate slows and my head stops pounding. I pull Gideon's jacket closer around me as I walk, pressing my nose into the collar to inhale the comforting scent of evergreen, allowing it to calm me. But I stop short when I reach the car. A rusted teal pickup truck is parked at the curb right behind Gideon's, my, Charger. Nearly boxing me in. It's rare to see an unfamiliar car in this town, and this one I would have noticed. It also says it was time traveled here from the 20s. Did they really need to park so close? I don't have time to puzzle out this new vehicle, so I ignore it now and climb into the driver's seat, batting an empty can of Jolt can to the floor in the process. I crank the engine to life and tune to the radio to my favorite station. Classic rock or metal? What else with metal? Hell yeah. I follow the road to Ivy House as it winds through the forest that consumes half of Twin Coves Peninsula. The trees so dense it's impossible to get a sense of how large the town is, or even where you are sometimes. It's easy to feel like you're the only one left in town, left in the world driving around here. I glance at the clock on my dash. 10:22 a.m. I press down the accelerator. I should make it on time if I floor it. Just a little. It's not as if there's any... Oh, no. Oh, bestie. Bestie. No. A siren begins blaring from behind me, and curse my luck as I slow. The red and blue lights flashing in my rear window. My hands tighten on the wheel, and I veer off to the shoulder of the road. The shrill whine drilling into my head, making my forehead drop for the third time today. Right, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep talking if I read every single thing, because there is a lot of words in this. So, here's what we're going to do. I want to read important things, right? We'll just do that. Okay. Okay. Sheriff's Department SUV just flies around me. That's probably a bad sign. Two-door style manor. 1920s. I mean, it's lovely looking. Probably worth a couple of fortunes. Xander Cross for nearly 80 years. Oh, they're the only vampire in residence. So we have a vampire now, which I'm pretty sure this guy is also a romance option. Which is, you know, we like them old, I guess. So Gunner North is the sheriff. Battle Creek High. Okay. You are kind of young to be having some heart palpitations. But then again, it sounds like you might be at least 27 to 30. So, maybe not. In and out. Buddy, you need to, like, calm down a little bit. Just a little bit. I know you're having a really hard time, but come on. The last thing we want to do is have a panic attack in front of the sheriff and get arrested for, like, doing drugs or something. They are here. the hell is there? Dave. Who is the they? Really come for the them days in this one, huh? Paramedics. Oh, there's a dead body. Oh, why is there a dead person? Rose tattoo on the wrists. Who is it? Oh. Who is it? Is it Xander? Is it? Uh, who is it? Oh boy. Who's got the rose tattoo, my guy? You know, oh boy. Oh boy. We're having us time. So who has the rose tattoo? Oh, this is embarrassing. The vampire dude, the dude we came to see is this is embarrassing, my guy. No, I'm definitely not fine. No, clearly not. What, how did the blood just disappear? That doesn't seem normal? Question mark? I can stand. So who died? Who's the one with the rose tattoo? What is this? That's weird. 10 languages, Jesus Christ. It's like some consumptive maiden in a gothic romance novel. Yeah, it'd be like that. Are we alright? No. I'm fine, I just skipped breakfast and felt dizzy seeing. This is a bit strange, you know, he is an 80-year-old man. Maybe older, he's probably older. Yeah, there's a rose right there. Does A plus B equal C in this case? I don't know. Why would you call the doctor here for some scrapes? Oh, please, that's all right. This is great, thank you. Oh, it's Gideon's niece. Oh boy. Oh boy, the mayor. That is a pretty painting though, so is that one. Why am I yawning? Like, I know it's 9:39 at night, and I've had a very long day, but come on, stop yawning. It feels rude after he played nurse. Did put on the nurse outfit and everything? Was this roleplay? Was it just like a very long roleplay session? Very strange, but alright. Had involved a dead body and everything, but you know. Oh boy. Why did it let me save right there? No, oh buddy, come, oh buddy, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. The Chesterfield sofa? Why is it against a bookshelf? Slipping through the door in the hallway. That's kind of strange. I will stay in the office. No, there's probably someone there, but you know, it's not good to go through strangers' houses. You mean that there's a dead body on your like property, my guy? That's kind of strange. They're okay. Thank you for your help, Mr. Cross. Again. Call me Xander. Yeah, you are an old man. My God, you're literally like 4 times my age. So we are having a problem with what is it? The vanity. You know, the church puts people on the pyre for that. You know, back in the day. Just be careful, Mr. Man. You are a vampire. An ancient vampire. Jesus fucking Christ! If I could just not yawn for 2 seconds. Ancient vampire. So he's well over 80. We're like confirming that. Only if you can call me Sai. I don't want to feel old either if I can help it. Well, that's more of a you problem given you're literally a fucking human. A human. What's the deal, Xander? Okay, what happened with the... Oh boy. Stained glass window. My guy has loads of cash. A murder on your estate? Buddy, that sounds bad. A dead young woman on the edge of the woods? Yeah, Gunnar North does not seem like someone you want to be dealing with given he was a jock, from what you've told me. Listen, I don't think Dr. Clearwater wants anything to do with us. Psych eval sounds just about as fun as another panic attack. I feel that. Really? I'm fine. God, we're just having like so many fucking dates with 84 people in Moe's. Listen, I know you're like a big Mr. Fancy rich person, but what I've learned about rich people is they all like lower income food. I'll put it that way. Sounds good. Until tomorrow. My dude's an ancient vampire who has a lot of calls to make and take. What has to do with... But what about Occam's razor? The simplest explanation is the best one. Okay, so someone tried to kill us 6 months ago, and roses have something to do with it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Well, don't release your inhibitions, my guy. Not again. I'm not running again. I'm not hiding again. Who knows? Maybe Gideon's heart attack was caused by these people that you're... These they themers, you know? Those damn they themers. As if I'm not one myself, but those damn they themers. Your own personal pep squad.